Hello, you level grinding cats and dolls out there in YouTube land. I'm the AntiHeroDrink, and as always, gamers, thank you for tuning in. So, I hope you can go last through this video. I really want a lot of people to comment on this one just because it hits the community. It's about, are gamers athletic, or if gaming can be considered a sport? And I'll try to keep this very short, but I really hope a lot of people comment on this one because I really want to go hear what other people have to go think about this. But that aside, I was on TYT and they were talking about if gaming is a sport or if gamers could be considered athletes, and a lot of things they said I agreed upon, but there are some things that I think I don't really agree upon, because I understand that the current format as it is right now, and this wasn't talked about, but the current format as it is right now, we pick up a disc, we pop it into our console. These characters come with pre-programmed strength, stamina, endurance, and all these other things. And as a player, we unlock them. We use it to our best abilities to overcome challenges or overcome players themselves. So I like what the first person that went on and said, and I'm sorry I can't remember your name. I'm just terrible with names, so I'm really sorry. But I'll link the video in the description. When she came out and she talked about how gaming is a thinking man's sport, and how it could be considered like playing chess or playing blackjack or some card game, sorry. But nonetheless, I really agreed upon that. But then they didn't really think chess was a sport, and it seemed like they were really hitting towards that, you know, for it to be a sport, there should be some physical level or some physical interaction. So I wanted to go argue that with the fact that even though this is a low blow, I'm still going to bring it up. The Wii really did reinvent the wheel, and it brought out a lot of motion control sports style gaming, where players were now not in their home sitting down with a controller, but they had to get up with their Wii U remote, and if they wanted to play golf, they had to go swing the remote like a golf club. They had to go lay it down, they had to go take their strike, they had to get into the poses and whatnot and actually play golf. And the same thing said with tennis and a bunch of other games. I mean, I could bring up how gaming has evolved to the point where if you ask somebody 30 years ago where they were still playing Pac-Man and Pong and Space Invaders, could that evolve into a format to go teach people how to go play musical instruments, they would just laugh because it was that primitive back then. Right now we have games like Rocksmith, which is teaching people how to play guitar, and is reinventing how we interact with games, or how games can better interact with people. The technology has been evolving, and as players, we've been evolving with the technology. And like I said, we're on the cusp already of VR technology, and we already have motion control technology, which I already talked about, is what I should have said. But we're going to have the combined forces of both those two coming together, and it's either going to be a beautiful or horrible mix, but I'm not here to talk about that. Let's go say that this works. Now we have games, like I said, we already have games where we can already simulate the motions that players move throughout the games. We have motion controls. That exists. We have VR technology in development, and it exists. At some point, we're going to have this come together where players are now immersed in the game, and they have to go use their own physical strength, their own physical abilities to actually overcome challenges in other players. And in that format, I really think that it can make a strong argument that games could be considered sports. And I know that's down the line, but it's not that far down the line. Seeing that the technology is almost ready to be released, it's just, it hasn't come together this way yet. But I just wanted to go make that argument that while you might not think that gaming is a sport in this format, how rapidly technology evolves, how rapidly gaming has been evolving, you would be surprised in 2 to 3 years or 4 years that this could become a topic, and a lot more people try to actually push towards gaming being considered an actual sport. And gamers themselves evolving into being more athletic, because if games will require them to actually use their own physical strength or their own endurance, their own stamina, then gamers would pretty much have to go adapt to that format. Yeah, screwed up. But anyway, I just want to go throw that out there. Last thing I want to go touch upon was what the last guy said, and his name was Jesus, I believe. I was really disheartened at the whole fact that you were like, oh, why put the gamers in this program? Be for real, they should be in this program because, you know, they should be in a computer science program, building whatever, because that's what they're really going to be doing. Like, what would a gamer do in the gym? I hate hearing shit like that because, one, I hate it when somebody says, what would a black guy, what would an Asian person, what would what would a Hispanic person, what would a gay person, what would a female do with any of these things? As if the human body, the human condition, limits you on sex, race, or gender, or sexual orientation on doing something. I'm pretty sure if gamers were in a gym, they could lift weights if they chose to do so. Or if they said, you know what, I don't want to go lift weights, they would go there. But you would be surprised how much it would split because it's pretty much like that right now. There are bro gamers who lift weights, play Call of Duty, play Madden, and that's their thing. That's their thing. There are gamers who are more to the traditional sense that would be like, you know what, I'm going to go to a computer, I'm going to go do this, this, and this. I'm going to socialize and that, and that. But to go say, get for real, what would they do there? I just found that very ignorant and just short-minded. That's just my thoughts. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely comment. Let me know what you think upon this. Anyway, I'm the AntiHeroDrink, and later, gamers.